Financial Bunny TV.
Hey guys, welcome to the Financial Bunny TV with me, Nicolette Mashile, also known as the Financial Bunny. Today we're going to be talking about how do you reduce your debt using the Snowball method and Avon Beauty products. Now remember that none of my videos constitute as financial advice. If you are looking for financial advice, please speak to somebody who is certified and registered with the FSCA. So a couple of years ago, I happened to walk in a mall. I was working for one of those what networking companies, but it wasn't like a networking company per se. It was actually no, online. I was working for a direct marketing company, right? And what we were doing is we used to be those people that stop people in the mall and say, yeah, your feet are on fire. And then we would sell products to them. But I mean, we'll tell them their feet on fire to try and get them to stop so that we could have a conversation with them. And as we were packing out our stuff, there was a group of people who were coming from Nedbank who were also packing out their stuff next to us. And they were selling credit cards. And on their table, they had laid out their table, they had squeeze bottles, they had lanyards, they had all sorts of promotional items. And then your sister here, because I clearly did not have a water bottle or a lanyard, I needed a lanyard and a water bottle so badly that I sold my soul to a credit card. Yeah, that's exactly what I did. I signed up for a credit card in exchange for me to get a lanyard and a squeeze bottle, a water bottle. Very expensive water bottle, I mean, I must say, because that credit card actually ended up getting me into debt. So a couple of years ago, I was in debt and I needed to try and figure out how I was going to pay for this debt. And one of the things that I decided to do was to ring fence the credit card debt, because there was no way I was going to be able to pay for it every single month with the way I was managing my finances, because money would come in and I would first allocate to the things I needed to pay for every single month. And let me tell you, the credit card was not one of those things I needed to pay every single month, because in my head, I could pick and choose when I was going to pay it or when I was not going to pay it. But what the bank did not pick and choose was when they were going to apply interest and arrears. So I was constantly in arrears on that credit card. So anyway, and you know how credit cards are calculated, right? Credit cards are basically calculated on the average of the highest balance that you've got in a day. So if your balance in between the days in the month is like 500 and then it jumps to like 1,000 rand, they will average that out. So it's called the average daily balance. That's how they actually calculate on a credit card. But I'll talk a little bit about that in my book, right? So anyway, ended up having to now ring fence some money to be able to pay into this credit card. And I Googled a couple of things and I landed on the Snowball method. And basically what the Snowball method is how a snowball, we don't have snowballs in South Africa, of course, because it doesn't snow here. Unless you are from the Drakensberg or you are closer days to Lesotho, sometimes it does happen to snow. But in South Africa, you can almost replace the snowball method with the cow dung method, because it's almost something similar. If you roll the cow dung with the grass, as you roll it, it becomes bigger and 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 bigger. And that's basically what the snowball method is that you start off very small, but as you keep rolling and rolling and rolling and rolling, this thing becomes bigger and bigger and bigger. So it snowballs into something bigger. So I discovered the snowball method. And one of the things the snowball method said was the first thing you need to do is to find the additional income in your bank accounts, right? You need to find an additional 500 rand that you're going to be paying into the smallest or the least expensive debt that you've got. And your sister here didn't know where to find it. And at that time, I wish I had just gone through my bank statements, because every time I go through my bank statements now, I always find wasteful expenditure. I'm like the government, basically. Like, honestly, I'm like the government. I always find wasteful expenditure in my bank statements right now. So I then decided, you know what? If I can't find an additional income stream, let me sell Avon. And it was quite an interesting journey, because at that time my sister actually worked for Avon, so I was very well acquainted with their products. I knew their products very well. One of my favorite products at that time was Amari. It was a lotion. Oh, it smells so good, guys. You know that a lotion smells good when men can also use it. My dad used to use it, and he used to like oh, he was my number one client, by the way, because I introduced him to Amari, and then he introduced my Amari to other people, and then it became a chain of these malumes who were all using Amari by Avon. But in any case, So yeah, my sister introduced me. My sister helped me sign up. I had to sign up, and then I had to, because I didn't want to be on credit, I had to prepay everything. So what we would do, we'd get a catalog, and you would get a couple of samples from Avon, and then you get orders. And when you get your orders, you'll put in your orders. It was all done electronically. You'd put in your orders, you would pay, and then you could collect, or they could deliver to you, and then you get your products. My sister would always obviously collect it for me because she worked at Avon, and then I would go and distribute to my people, and then I would make additional monies from whatever discounts that I was getting from Avon. It was actually something that really helped me pay off my credit card, and I'm grateful even today. I mean, a couple of years later, would I have still done Avon? Probably not, because at that time I had something specific that I wanted to do Avon for. But fast forward into 2020, I started using Avon's new products. And they are a skincare product, right? And you can see my skin is glowing. Yes, I've got eyebrows done, my nose is done, and I've got a bit of concealer on my skin. But the mere fact that you can actually see the makeup look so healthy on my skin is because my skin is healthy. And it's because I'm using Avon and new products. And I'm actually excited now because I'm like, actually, I've got something new. I've got a new financial goal that I'd like to work towards. And I want to ring fence that money. So maybe perhaps I could go back to selling Avon. So of course, I started then going through their stuff to check, how do I become a rep again? And they've made the process so much more easier. It's far easier than it was when I started a couple of years ago. Now you literally can register on WhatsApp. There's a telephone number. I think it's 308. No, I'll put it on the display on the video, that you can text. You can even go on the online and you can actually apply. And I like they've got a new tagline. It's called Shop to Empower. And that for me is exciting because every single time you shop at Avon, they will allocate your sale or your transaction to a rep if you do not select a rep. So what do I mean by that? I mean that if you go on their site right now to try and buy something, and you don't select a specific rep, they will then allocate your transaction to a specific sales rep, and that sales rep will get some sort of payment from your transaction. What they've also done now, which is pretty cool, is that you as a sales rep can create your own e-commerce shop. They do everything for you. The back end of it is all done for you. You just get a shop that you can then customize to your own personality and who you are. You put in your address, and your own clients and your customer base, when they go shop, they don't even have to speak to you anymore. They literally log in with your URL, and then they can shop, and the commission from their transaction will go to you as the rep. How exciting is that? And if you are within Gauteng and certain areas in South Africa, Avon does deliver. So they've also empowered the reps in that they are helping them with deliveries around the country on any orders, I think about 600 Rand. So yeah, I mean, and they've got a far more supportive base right now. So as I said, I'm in the process of registering. Y'all gonna see my shop soon. As I said, I've got a financial goal that I need to achieve, and I am trying to move away from it, and it needs an additional income stream, and I've got an additional income stream. So as I said, it's important at the end of the day that if you are going to be getting an additional income stream, whether it is Avon or something else, make sure that you've got a goal that is attached to it, because that is what's going to keep you going. When you start to see a difference in what you are doing in that financial goal, that's how it's going to actually keep you committed. And remember that an additional income stream doesn't have to be huge amounts of money. I think that's the other thing that we do. We think that we gotta make this huge amounts of money. You just gotta make a little bit of extra income for you to be able to pay towards this financial goal that you've got. So yeah, I'm quite excited about my Avon journey as an Avon rep. It's going to be quite exciting because I know that you guys are going to support me. Oh yes, and also let me tell you what's going to make me different as an Avon rep. I'm going to also educate you on skincare. So if you want skin like mine, jump on board, darlings. I'm ready. I'm coming for you. Any way to make additional money, I'm on it. What do they say? I'm on the money. You guys know it. It's me, Nicolette, signing up. Thank you very much for watching Financial Bunny TV. I'll see you guys next time on the next video. Mwah. Oh yeah, and it's COVID-19. It's lockdown, guys. It's lockdown. We need to make additional income streams. It's lockdown. It's lockdown. So if you have lost your job, if anything has happened, this might be a way for you to actually start making a little bit of income. I'm just saying. It's just a suggestion. Don't shoot the messenger. Mwah.